Greetings all and welcome back to another episode of What the Fuck is a Reborg podcast. I am Reborg. The fuck's up with y'all and me? I'm just chilling, catching up with you. Boy, he on the ground chilling. Podcast sleepy time, you know how he do. Just to catch up with me, nothing much, man. Just work. A lot of the work is picked up and I've been getting off later than usual. It's not a problem because the longer you work, the more you're going to get paid. So it's just trying to squeeze in more time so I can get this done. I meant to record on Sunday, but my voice sounded like shit. Yeah, you ever been hoarse for no reason? Like I wasn't sick or anything like that. I just woke up Sunday with the frog in my voice. So my homeboy said I sounded like Barry White and shit. And it wasn't like conducive to a podcast. I just couldn't handle the shit. But work, assistant manager got fired. The shit is kind of funny because people saw it coming, and that's what it is. A lot of his buddies at work are pissed off, and yeah, I don't give a fuck. It's a job. I just come here to work, get paid, go home. That's it. I don't have to be buddy-buddy with anybody. I have enough friends in my life. I don't need y'all to be my friend. So a lot of people look at me as the at-work asshole, or the guy who doesn't say shit at work, and that's just what it is. I don't need y'all to be my fucking friend. Life is already good for me. I just come here to work, and that's it. Just on the catch-up side of things, my birthday's on next Monday, March the 25th. And if anybody has any ideas they want me to do or any type of topics they want me to go over, just let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. Text me, because most of the people who listen to this are my friends anyway. So text me, hit me up in one of the group chats I'm in, leave a comment down there, and I'll see to it to squeeze it in there, because I'm definitely recording on Monday. Hands down, I don't give a fuck what happens. Death is the only thing that's going to keep me from recording on my birthday. And I wanted to give y'all a little curveball and give y'all another drunk story. And before I tell this drunk story, I want to shout out my boy Ashton Jordan, a.k.a. Joe, aka Black Man, aka Smoking Joe. This drunk story, for all that you do, this bud's for you. So him and another good friend of mine's, Wood, they were dating cousins at the time, and their sister, one of the cousin's sister, had a birthday party in another part of the town or whatever. So we all get suited and booted and go up there to a party. She had rented out a nice little VIP section and all that. It was real chill. It was real nice and all that. And it was cool. So while we're in the VIP section, we're waiting for the birthday girl to show up. And while we're sitting there waiting on the birthday girl to show up, even the people at the club start to, wonder where the fuck she was at. So they said, fuck it, and they just start serving us drinks. So I'm just knocking back glasses of Smirnoff vodka and some Captain Morgan. And by the time I turned around, I was 4 glasses of vodka in and 3.5 cups of Captain Morgan in. And the next time I hopped to, I was on the dance floor. Now, mind you, I'm not much of a dancer. I'm not going to go out there on Omarion and Chris Brown shit and all that and get out on the floor. But I hopped out on the floor on this shit, and I was drunk. I was so drunk, shit was happening in flashes. So I'm on the dance floor. I'm pocket dialing motherfuckers. I'm singing every song in the club because I already know the songs that were playing. But you're not supposed to be singing them shits loud. And I was I was loud as fuck. And I really didn't notice if people were looking at me. I was too drunk to even figure it out. This is how drunk I was. I was so drunk, the girl I was dancing with, I interlocked my fingers in her belt loop, because if I was going to fall, I was going to take somebody with me. And the fact that she just let that happen and she danced with me and didn't even disperse or anything of that nature was cool as shit, and it was funny as fuck. So I'm up there dancing and all that shit. We decided to get our asses back into the VIP. I get back in there, and that's when it really hits me. Like, I'm fucking smacked. I'm done right now. So I'm trying to chill, but I'm hot as fuck, and I'm sick as fuck. I know I'm getting ready to Earl. So what I do is I pick up the ice bucket that was on the table. I lay down on the floor. I put my arm around the ice bucket like a bitch, and I Earl. The club sees this shit and say he got to get the fuck out. He drunk. I'm drunk as shit. So mind you, I don't have all my wits. So my boy Joe, at this time I was about 225, 230. He couldn't have been no more than 170 pounds, maybe 160. So he's guiding my big ass to his car. And while he's guiding me to his car, I don't know why the fuck I drove up there with him. I drove up there with him. He was driving a Nissan 350Z at the time. A little ass car. I really didn't have no business getting in this shit. But while I'm in the car, I'm fucked up and I'm drunk. I'm dry heaving. So I'm popping out the door at random times, just earling in the street, and he has to pick me back up and put me in the car. And it was moments where I was trying to open the door, and all I could do was just slap the handle because I ain't know where the handle was. The handle wasn't in the same spot that it was for my car. So I'm slapping the shit out of his door. All right. I'm fucking done. I'm smacked. So he gets me into his girl's crib, and they put me in the back room to go to sleep. They built a nice pallet, blanketed me and everything. Kind of, it was like a hobo's welcome and shit. So when I woke up, I'm still fucked up, but I don't know where I am. I haven't been to this part of her house, so I have absolutely no clue what the fuck is going on. I get scared, and I run straight outside to the car. Forget to pick up my keys, run back inside, then run back out the house, hop in the car, and ride home. So they called me maybe a couple of hours later and said, Jamal, where are you at? I said, I'm at home. They said, what happened this morning? I didn't know where I was. I bust out the door and I ran because I was scared because I didn't know where the hell I was. And that was pretty much it. I had a hangover the whole day. My mom called to laugh at me because she knew I was fucked up. Not from anybody telling her when she called. She just knew it was a wrap. And that was the last time. Nope, I was drunk another time, and I'm going to save that for another episode. But it wasn't as fucked up, and it wasn't as much going on as this one. But I have one more time where I was really pissy drunk. All right, let's get into some of these topics. The NFL, even though there are no games being played, they got it popping. The Giants had like a wholesale. These motherfuckers turned into the dump. Everything must go. We're in that no money down, no payment for 2 months, no credit check, no nothing. They were just getting rid of everybody, and they ended up getting rid of Odell Beckham and sending them to the Browns. I mean, hey, the Browns look decent. You know, the Browns have something to look forward to. Boy, I know they the dog pound in Cleveland, and they representing. I'm sorry, but you got to hold up till I'm finished, okay? Thank you very much. He goes to the Browns and adds firepower to an already pretty good offense. So it's on wait and see for me. I'm not going to call it one of the best offenses ever or nothing like that. I just wait and see when they get on the field. Shit looks good. I hope it works out for them because Cleveland has been sorry as shit throughout my whole existence. I think the last time they made the playoffs twice in my memory. So good luck to them going forward. Golden Tate and Deshaun Jackson went to Philly. That's a good look. You get a over-the-middle, short route, wide receiver, a guy who could take a 5-yard pass, turn it into 15 yards real quick. And Jackson, deep threat still. I think it's a good look for Philly on the offense. If they can keep Wentz healthy, yeah, shit could look good over there too. They sent Flacco to Denver. Who gives a fuck? What the fuck is he going to do there other than beat buns? He lost his position to a quarterback that the coach don't even want to call passing plays for. I'll get to the next player. Le'Veon Bell and C.J. Mosley went to the Jets. Good luck for Le'Veon. Not only did you get the bag, shout out to that, but you're going to have a chance to get the ball. As dismal as the Jets offense was, it can only look up with Le'Veon Bell back there. And it's a good look for a young quarterback. C.J. Mosley going over there solidifies, a leader for the defense. I'm really surprised Baltimore let him get away, acting like they couldn't give up no bag. And I mean, they made good moves, but letting him go kind of, it's gonna sting. I can tell you that. Ryan Fitzpatrick went to the Dolphins. Ryan Fitzpatrick just keeps finding ways to start in this league. It's unfucking believable. Sheldon Richardson went to the Browns. Good look on the defense. Shores up some interior offensive linemen. Probably free up so they can get that pass rush cracking. Because Myles Garrett had a good year, and I think he could flourish with Richardson down there on the line with him. Earl Thomas and Mark Ingram went to the Ravens. Way to replace Eric Weddle for the Ravens with a player that's better than him. And Mark Ingram helps with that running game and RPOs and run pass options with what's the name of their quarterback? Lamar Jackson. She's gonna be sauce. I really like that. Foles to the Jags. I have no idea. I don't have shit for it. The Honey Badger to the Chiefs. As a Raiders fan, I'm like, fuck. As a Raiders fan, I've wanted the Honey Badger since he came out in the draft. He came out in the draft. I was like, we could use the second round pick. We could pick up the Honey Badger because he is one of the best college players I've ever seen. He just make plays whenever he's on the field, and that's just what it is. And we failed at that shit twice. Clinton Dix went to the Bears. I think that's an undercover good look. He's a good safety. Washington didn't know what the fuck they was doing with him. No offense, O'Neal, but they didn't know what the hell they was doing with him. And I think him going to the Bears with that defense and that defensive coordinator, the bright things should be happening. Walking on sunshine, if you will. Who else we got? Landon Collins went to the Skins. Good in the box safety. He'll help, but they got to be worried about the deep threat, too. There's nothing wrong with the Redskins' run defense. So, I don't know what the fuck. Just gave them all that money for. And a lot of these pickups, like Arizona picking up Terrell Suggs and things like that. I like the Michael Bennett to the Patriots. Hey, it can only go up from there, man. It's the Patriots. Outside of wide receivers, usually players that go there do pretty good. But, what was I talking? Oh, yeah, Suggs going to the Cardinals. They usually make these pickups so they don't have to be pressed to make those picks in the draft. And let's not forget about the Raiders. They picked up LaMarcus Joyner, a nice rangy safety. Terrell Williams, who will be a great compliment to AB, Antonio Brown joining the Raiders. If Carr can't get it done, or at least look decent, it's time for him to go. Now, I can understand last year because shit went downhill. Crabtree didn't come back. Cooper wasn't feeling it like that. And the only person he was really throwing to was Jared Cook. Who was the white boy that they had? Nelson from the Packers, whatever it was. He was injured a lot, so they never got a chance to build the chemistry. But shout out to it, man. Everybody make the moves, man. I'm wishing every team the best, and I just wishing for good football, and it looks like it's going to happen. And it looks like Kyler Murray is going to end up playing for the Arizona Cardinals. They've talked it up enough. Even with Cliff Kingsbury coming out, that was pretty hard. Cliff Kingsbury coming out and saying that we're going to stick with Josh Rosen. They will, but they will stick with him as the backup quarterback, or they may trade him. Murray's going to the Cardinals. And another thing, you're not going to get me hyped on pro days, okay? You're in a nice, relaxed atmosphere at your school, throwing to your wide receivers on a no pass rush, and it's usually a very nice day outside. Everybody looks good at the pro day. If you look at videos, it was people hyped at Jamarcus Russell's pro day. So ever since then, I have not invested in a pro day at all. Yes, they look good, but they're supposed to. They're in the confines of comfort, so that's just what that is. Sticking with the football, we got the college football. Tate Martell got cleared, and now it looks like college football, the transfer portal is going to be the free agent portal. I ain't mad at it. Just make it happen. And I'm not just saying that because Miami clinked up in this transfer portal, but that's what is going down. I guess they cleared the transfer waiver because he said that the team lied to him, told him that he was going to be the only quarterback after Haskins and they didn't. They picked up Justin Fields, and I guess that was enough. Because Justin Fields got cleared because of one player on the baseball team called him a nigga. I thought it was a group of people. It was just one dude. But it looks like they might just have to get rid of that waiting a year. Because that's pretty fucked up that Tate Martell and Justin Fields and get to play. You know, no problem with Jalen Hurts. He's a graduate. You know, he earned the chance to do that. Same thing with Kelly Bryant. He waited and he did the actual transfer. And then you look at somebody like Jacob Eason, who was the starting quarterback before he got hurt and Fromm came in for the Georgia Bulldogs. He had to wait a whole fucking year this year. He sat out the whole year in Washington. They ain't did nothing but practice. And here Tate Martell and Justin Fields, they get to play and all that shit. Played the whole year. I won't play here no more. I'm going somewhere else. And they just let this shit go down. It was pretty fucking funny. But let's get the transfer portal going. In baseball news, Ichiro Suzuki retired, and that's one of my top 5 baseball players. I always enjoyed him. And shout out to him, man, because he had a lot of hype coming in. He was on the cover of magazines. They put him on ESPN Next, because ESPN Next used to be like the up-and-coming cats who they would think were going to be the next superstars. And, you know, you're going to brick on that a couple of times. But he came through with that. Cannon for an arm, great outfielder, can get a hit no matter what. Always enjoyed the dude. Harper finally signed his deal. If I ain't talk about that, but Mike Trout, I said he was going to get more money. He got a 12-year, $430 million extension with the Angels. So it looks like he enjoys playing there, and he don't want to go no damn where. So that's what that is. Shout out to it. I'm looking forward for the baseball season. I want to watch some of the young guys like Vlad Jr., Bo Bichette, Fernando Tatis, Eloy Jimenez, just to see what they got going on through the year. I don't watch too many games during the regular season. I'll check the highlights for sure and then check some stats just to see what's going on. But I'm not big on baseball like I used to. In the NBA, I'm sorry, LeBron and them not gonna make the playoffs. I don't think he stinks. I think it was the fault of everybody from the owner of the team on down, all the way down to the water boy. He fucked up. The concession stands fucked up. The parking attendant fucked up. Everybody just came up short and it didn't work. Just hope for the best next year, and I'll move on from that. This is the last time I'm going to talk about the shit. But I want to give shout-outs to teams that are actually playing well and nobody gives a fuck about. Shout out to the Nets. The Nets were supposed to stink. They don't stink, and they're getting ready to make the playoffs. Shout out to them, man. D'Angelo Russell, Spencer Dinwiddie, Joe Harris, Alan Crabb. Oh, what the fuck is that boy name? Allen, the center that wear the tennis headbands. Shout out to him. Shout out to the Spurs. After DeJounte Murray knee exploded and Lonnie Walker got hurt and them just piecing the team together with no Manu and no Timmy and no Tony Parker, they still made the playoffs. Shit, I think they're the 6th seed right now. So, shout out to them. Pop, you keep doing your thing. Shout out to the Clippers. I was never a big fan of Doc Rivers. I always thought he was overrated. Of course, you can win a championship with Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce in their prime, Hungry Rondo, and all that shit. I probably said this before. But what he's done with the Clippers has been pretty sauce, man. They got rid of the big three, Jordan, Griffin, Paul. And they got a good team. They still hooping. He even got rid of Tobias Harris, Avery Bradley, Boban, and they're still playing good ball. Like, that's pretty nice. And props to him. I will never question or doubt his coaching again, man. He's a good coach to me now. Shout out to the Pacers, another good coach. Oh, Nate McMillan. Okay. Nate McMillan is putting together the fact that they haven't sunk to the bottom of the standings in the East and still are in, I want to say they're the 3rd or 4th seed. Oladipo been hurt a long time. He's missed more games than LeBron, and they're going to make the playoffs. So, shout out to the Pacers for getting it done. Shout out to the Pistons. Blake Griffin, I wasn't really, paying that much attention. I just thought you had fallen off. And to the casual fan, you have. But you've done some good work for the Pistons. And for them to be over 500 and make the playoffs, you and Dwayne Casey, man, y'all did a good job, man. I hope y'all can pull together some talent so y'all can compete. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for the bottom of the Eastern Conference to keep pulling in talent, man, because between Brooklyn and the Pistons and, the Heat and maybe one or two other teams, the East could be just as competitive as the Western Conference. They got real top heavy, because the Pacers with Oladipo, that's a good team. Philly's a good team. They got to get the chemistry together, but they're still a good mob. Toronto's good. The Bucks are good. Boston, once they decide who the hell's going to be the leader of the team, they're good. But shout out to them. And shout out to the Rockets, because they had a lot of injuries. They were at the bottom of the standings right around before Christmas, and Harden threw that team on his back and made it happen. Boy, get your ass away from there and lay down. The hell is you doing getting up in the middle of the podcast? Fucker. Oh, yeah, shout out to the Rockets, man, for getting it done. And last but definitely not least, we got March Madness. And as the season wind down, I'm going to go ahead and pick my All-Americans. Zion, no need to explain. You know what it is. R.J. Barrett, Ja Morant, the same thing. I got Grant Williams from Tennessee. He's played good ball, man. He wasn't even ranked when he got to Tennessee. And for him to be balling like that in his junior year, man, shout out to him. And Rui Hachimura from Gonzaga, man, he's been hooping too. I read about him a couple of years ago before he got there because he's from Japan, and that's where he grew up. And shout out to Mark Few going over there, recruiting this kid and getting him to come there and then developing him into an All-American. Shout out to those guys, man. Y'all, very good basketball to watch. Okay, before I give you my Final Four, I'm going to give you my why nots on some of the teams that's in the tournament that you may think that, I should have in there. Why not Tennessee? The big game. Rick Barnes, I think he's only been to one Final Four, and they don't have that one guy who can fuck you up like that. Like, Grant Williams is playing good, but it's all in the team effort. And it's good. And usually teams like this make it happen. But I think next year, if they can bring back all the core players, then they'll be a bigger threat. Because they're just learning how to win now. Rick Barnes is bringing a winning culture because he's not a championship coach, but he will win. Keep you in for the top 4 seeds in the whatever region you in. But he's not a championship coach. Duke, I don't trust the rest of the players. Zion does his thing, but I don't trust the rest of the players, plain and simple. LSU, the coach got suspended. Will Wade got caught on the phone talking about why are we giving money to a player who ain't even that good. Nigga, you recruited him? Shit. UNC, I think UNC has a good team, but I think they're subject to get fucked up by more athletic teams. When you bring out the horses and you run on UNC this year, like the last couple of years under the year they won the chip. When you run on them, they don't have nothing. That's one of the reasons why I think they were able to beat Gonzaga that championship year not that long ago. Because Gonzaga didn't have they didn't have the athletes to match up against them. Michigan, I just don't see it. Houston, Kelvin Sampson, he hasn't been to a Final Four since 2002, and those Oklahoma teams were special. And I just don't see it in them. And Kansas just got too much stuff going on with them to be reputable as a threat. But my Final Four is Gonzaga, Michigan State, Kentucky, and UVA. I think UVA, with the bracket that they were in, I think they should be fine because I think Villanova will beat Tennessee if they, get a chance to play them. And I think UVA has enough talent to beat Villanova. I actually think UVA will be able to do it this year. Kentucky, this is right around this time. Every time. Right around February, them young boys start to get it. And they start putting in that work. And he's got the right lineup, putting the pieces together. And it's just, shout out to Coach Cal. You may not think he's a good coach. I think he's a good coach. Because you can get whatever talent you can to get there, but to win is something else. Michigan State, I just think they'll beat Duke. I think they'll just beat the hell out of Duke and slow up the game, just like on some North Carolina, because Duke just beat North Carolina in the tournament, and they won by what, like a point? Like the other games they weren't that much more competitive, and UNC put in that work. So I think Michigan State will be able to do the same thing and keep Duke from going in. Gonzaga, I think they just got it. They got the athletes this year to go along with the good fundamental players, and I'm picking them to win the championship. Mark Few has sniffed. He has been nipping at that bitch for so long, man. I think this is the year he can finally get there and get it done. But mind you, this is just predictions. This is just what I'm saying. I don't know what's going to happen in the tournament. One of these teams could lose tomorrow. And shout out to John Morant for having a triple-double, which hasn't been done in 7 years in the tournament. Shout out to him. But we don't know what the hell is going to happen. We all seen what happened with George Mason, Davidson, last year with Loyola Chicago. Anything can happen. That's what makes the tournament so great. So that's just a prediction. If I'm wrong, I'm still going to enjoy the game. Shit, so it's whatever. So this is going to be a short one. This is all I got for you. The birthday one is going to be a hell of a lot bigger than this. I'm going to get back to that hour. It's going to be at least 45 minutes on the birthday side of the podcast, and I'm going to make that happen. Appreciate you for listening. Hold it down as always. Be peaceful, be you, and be easy. I'm out.